that does bring me to my next point, guys. So with us, everybody knowing that we are going to the SEC more than likely next year. How does that play on the field here for Texas and OU this year? My opinion, I think the other teams are going to go for blood. I think they about to just come. They ain't caring. What's a low block? What's a chop? I don't care. If this is illegal, y'all leaving us. We don't got no home next year. We going to the Conference USA. Oh, hell no. We about to chop the knees out. We going to do some, some clotheslines. I just got a feeling that the other teams are out for bloodshed, and not only just the teams, but I think the refs are going to try to kill us too. That is my opinion. That's my opinion. What's your thoughts, man?
I definitely agree with, I think every road game this season for OU and Texas, every Big 12 road game they play will be the most hostile they've seen in years, if maybe ever, because like you said, all these teams, especially let's see, does Texas play at is it in Stillwater when Texas plays OSU, or is that
it's in Austin this year?
Okay, because I was OU's gonna play in Stillwater, so I mean that's basically just Norman 2.0. So not worried about that one, honestly. But I can see a lot. Ames being hostile. The 20% of capacity filled at Kansas is going to be hostile. Those people, they're still going to, the scattered throughout, but they're going to be loud. But no, I think I agree with you for sure. We're going to see some out for blood is the way to put it. Is definitely the way. It just makes me even more excited, honestly. I feel like it's new energy, in this, because before it was just kind of just ho hum. It just didn't seem like there was the fire in these last several years on the road, even though whenever a team does pull off an upset against OU or Texas, it's the national championship for them. But it's just going into those games now, there's just a new feeling, a new sense of excitement that I'm going to be pumped up for. So I can only imagine how the players are going to feel in both OU and Texas, and the opponents. Everybody's going to be jacked.
I mean, where do I begin? I'm thinking squarely about Kansas right now, because I haven't heard anything about Kansas football except for them trying to kill their own teammate because he snitched. That's pretty much the only thing I've heard out of that camp. I just can't imagine Kansas coming to Norman or OU going to Lawrence this year, and Kansas saying, "Hey, come get a piece of this," and I'm just
they won't shake their hand. Seriously. At midfield, they won't shake their hand like they did Baker.
Yeah. Look,
that was crazy.
We already know OU's going to be up to play a bunch of games. Texas, K-State, and Iowa State. Okay, I know up there in Manhattan they want to Emaw and all that stuff right there. You can do that, but you're gonna get punched in your mouth. But I just can't. And I know that, Seth, you said it, that Baylor may be the trap game for OU this year.
Yeah.
I just can't see Baylor, Kansas, Texas Tech. I can't see some of these teams coming into Norman and just, trying to hey, yeah, we're out to get blood. We're out to do this. Maybe down there in Austin, but I know in Norman, you come around here doing it, you're going to get a boy ass. You're not playing with that. We're going to put you right in your mouth and see. We're going to send you over to the campus corner happy for the wrong reason. All right? Because we're going to put something under your sleeve. We're not playing with that.
Don't be worrying about Austin, Texas no more. Don't be worrying about Austin, Texas no more. Hey, I done talked to some folks. They say that the players, let's be honest, I'm going to switch subjects a little bit now. They said the old coaching regime, they didn't get along with the coaching regime, which caused them not to get along with the players. And now it's it's a whole different field. Probably, I hate to say this, but, I see how Lincoln Riley is with his players. You can tell the players like Lincoln Riley. They like to play for Lincoln Riley. It is what it is. You can tell that they like that offense. They like playing for that team. They like playing for Lincoln Riley. And it's something similar going on right now with Sark. It's like the players like Sark, and it wasn't the same with Herman. They loved Charlie Strong. It's just not going. I mean, I don't like to knock on Charlie. Charlie just wasn't a good coach. It just was what it was.
He freaking do! Oh my God! Sark came in and let's just Sark effect. Oh, it's so great. Look,
I ain't saying nothing about no Sark effect. I'm just saying.
Oh man,
hey, we got bamboozled with Herman. Okay, we got bamboozled.
Cut the malarkey, man. Okay,
we got bamboozled with Herman. Hey, I knew we were done with Herman when Herman came out in the press conference and said he couldn't call plays from the field. I said, "What? I need to be in the box." I said, "Fire him. Get him out of here. Get him out of here."
You guys lost when y'all let Opie run out there with a jersey on to play quarterback. All right. Send Opie back to Andy Griffith with some candy in his pocket and tell him to sit on the sideline. We're playing football over here. Come on, man. Casey Thompson, shout out to him for being an Oklahoma product. But hey, you're in Texas for a reason, buddy. Okay? Just saying. I don't know. Hudson Card, Casey Thompson, Josh Smith, who is supposed to be Devontae Smith, Josh Moore, excuse me, who's supposed to be Devontae Smith 2.0.
Anybody saying about
I don't know.
No. Anybody saying about Josh Moore? That's y'all over there saying, "Oh, he this tall, he this skinny, he got to be Devontae Smith."
Texas fans.
Mind you, he a good player.
Hold on. Look, Seth, I'm about to do something I've never done before. Hold on. Stephen A. time. Look at me. I want the camera on me right now. Texas fans, be serious with yourself. You're not that guy, pal. You're not that guy. Okay?
Oh, okay.
You haven't been that guy in quite a while, okay? You keep coming up here to Dallas, Oklahoma, talking noise. Be real with yourself. You don't know what you have at quarterback. You're the quarterback that you want to start. He played great against a terrible Colorado team who has been terrible since they left.
But Chris, according to everybody, Spencer Rattler's played great against terrible teams here in the Big 12. So what's the difference? According to everybody, right? I mean, he's been throwing against Kansas.
Okay, but there's a difference. Though. You see the talent and you see the arm. Okay, Patrick Mahomes-esque. But anyways, Texas fans, I want you to pay close attention to what I'm saying right now. Okay,
we're gonna win. You guys have We're gonna end the Big 12. We started. We won the Big 12 the first year. We're gonna win it on the last year. You heard it first here on Nino's Corner Podcast, and I said it right here in front of Seth and my boy Chris, man. And Spencer Rattler, he's gonna go to the league next year with no championship because Casey Thompson gonna come in and take it from him. I said it. An Oklahoma kid is gonna win the Big 12 this year wearing a burnt orange uniform. I said it. You heard it here first.
Look, first off, I have a strong dislike for quarterbacks who have an S curl. Second thing is this right here. I'm just going to be totally honest with you. Besides Alfred Collins, I don't know what you guys have on defense. Your secondary, a lot of them have either graduated or went on to the league. That's great. Let's look at your offensive line. Let's look at your offensive line.
Keandre Coburn.
Yes, say names that don't produce. Okay, say more names that don't produce.
Come on. Alfred Collins is a beast. Also, Coburn is that guy in the middle, man. I'm telling you. Also, Texas, I don't know what you have offensively as wide receivers. Outside of Josh Moore, I don't know any other names out there. Running back room. You got to understand, Texas, the first 2 games of the season, you guys are going to get tested, okay? That's going to be great film for us to use later in the season because you got Louisiana. You have Louisiana coming in, and then you go to Fayetteville. That is not going to be a cupcake game. They're going to load the box with athletes and tell you you're going to have to make passes on this man-to-man defense if they decide to run anything else but that 4-2-6, I believe that they're running, or that whatever they're running. But still, you guys get what I'm saying. When you're sitting out there
and you have Bijan Robinson, who is special. Nobody denies that. Should have been at OU. But
no.
Sit there and say to yourself, they're gonna everybody's just gonna load the box. Everybody's going to load the box and force these quarterbacks to make big time throws. Even the simplest of throws will be big time. So it's out of the gates, it may be slow. You guys can potentially go 3-0, but you guys can also go 1-2 with your only win coming against Rice. I want you to think about that, Texas fans. I want you to think about that.
Not gonna happen. All right, I'm gonna do my Stephen A. moment. No, I'm not gonna do no Stephen A. I'm gonna do Club Shay Shay right now. I'm gonna do Shannon Sharp. We're gonna go to Club Shay Shay right now. Okay? Club Shay Shay. Chris, you don't believe the words that are coming out your mouth, Chris. We're gonna win the Big 12 this year. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, OU fans, just understand that you guys know we're gonna win it this year. It is what it is. You can count on your fingers. You can count the years we had Charlie Strong and Tom Herman. You can count the years. just count. Hey, Charlie Strong. You can count Herman. Neither one of them in college football no more. Strong left here, went to South Florida and lost. Took a Taggart team that was 11-1 and brought them down to, what were they, 4? And I don't want to talk about Strong. Anyways, we get it. We had 2 bad coaches in a row. We get it. Now, I understand Steve Sarkisian is not proved as a head coach as of yet.
No.
But also, Lincoln Riley wasn't either a few years ago. And we're going to make this thing happen, man. We're going to make this thing happen. Don't worry about us. We're going to win the Big 12 this year. We're going to win it in the last year of the Big 12 to say we close this out with Texas doing this thing. And then we're going to go to the SEC and whoop y'all and mop y'all on the floor over there too. I said it. You heard it here. Club Shay Shay. It is what it is.
So Seth, what I'm thinking is that the loser of the Red River rivalry, that person has to wear the opposing team's shirt.
Oh no!
Take a picture.
Come on, shirt.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I don't do best like that.
I'm just letting you know. There's I'll keep it PG because your audience is kind of kids out there watching that. But I mean, seriously though, we joke and everything, but I would just say that it means a lot this year for OU and Texas to do really good and go out on a good foot because on their best note. Because the thing about it is that you want to go out, even if you don't win the the championship. We all know that OU and Texas should be playing for the Big 12 championship, but you got a team called Iowa State that's down there that you guys got to deal with. But you say that you want to do really good. You want to be one of the hottest teams coming out of this season right here, going into next season. Because the biggest thing is that I think that they will be because they're ESPN guys. But you want Herb Street, you want Pollock, you want Chris Fowler on those night games, you want Reese Davis, you want Desmond Howard, you want Joel Klatt. You want all of them basically saying like, yeah, there's no way that OU and Texas go there and they have lopsided win and loss totals. Like you want to have that because it looks great on you going there. You want to be the guy that people say that was a calculated move, that was a strategic move, and you know what? They knew what they were getting themselves into. You don't want to be that team like Texas A&M and Missouri who went there and they were over their heads. Because we all know that Missouri would rather be in the Big Ten right now if they could be instead of being in the SEC. I don't think anybody doubts that.
It fits them perfectly.
It fits them perfectly. Yeah.
I mean, they're like right there in the recruiting landscape right there. Like they have no recruiting bed. Like Missouri has no recruiting bed in the SEC. They're a perfect fit for the Big Ten.
Ever since Gary Pinkel left, I mean, that was pretty much it.
It was a done deal.
He was Mizzou. And him and Blaine Gabbert were Mizzou. How he worked magic and miracles with that guy, I don't know.
Chase Daniel.
Yeah, Chase Daniel still got a job in the league, man.
Chase Daniel was a thorn in my
He got some rings. He got like a couple rings.
He still got a job in the league, don't he?
Hey, I'll hold a clipboard right now. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
That's the best job in the world, backup quarterback. Best job. Hold the clipboard and hope you don't play.
Over on the sideline throwing up signs the whole time, like, yeah. Your wife come in and say, "Babe, what are you doing in the mirror?" I'm like, "Hey, I got a job."
I gotta act like I'm working.
Nice.
Hey, man, this is gonna be a good season, though, man. Yeah, we gotta do this again, man. I enjoyed this thoroughly, man. I really enjoyed it, man. You guys are awesome, man. We gotta do this, just more often. Just the YouTubers and the podcasters, man. But yeah, this was awesome, man. I think Texas, I think OU, I think we're going to do well. I put some, on my last podcast, basically stating that, I think Texas A&M went to the SEC too early. I think they went to the right conference too soon. With Johnny Football emerging in 2012, I thought if A&M would have stayed in the Big 12, they'd have ran the Big 12 that year. It would have happened. They'd have went undefeated probably. And they're probably playing for a national championship. And all it takes is some magic for one game. One game, right? One game. And they beat Alabama in Tuscaloosa that year, right? So who's to say that they couldn't beat anybody on a neutral field, with Johnny Football, who, let's just keep it real. When he let him hang, he let him hang. It was what it was. He balled, right? So
they beat OU in the Cotton Bowl.
I would just say LSU, though. He couldn't beat LSU any of the years that he was in college football. Just throw that out to you guys.
That's true. That's true. But I think they could have had an honest opportunity to play for a championship. They left too early, and I think Texas and OU are making the move right at the right time. It is the perfect time because not only does it puts us in the best conference, right? But it also takes the luster off of the guys who left early, who left too early. It takes the luster off of their best season that they had in years. Yeah. So, I honestly think that this is the perfect move for Texas and OU. I think both teams are going to do well. I'm excited to see the Brands go against some of the, the Bamas and the Auburns and the LSUs. I can't wait for it. I think we're going to be in for a roller coaster ride, guys, for the next couple of years.
And last point I'll make on that is that the 12-team playoff, the fact that now you can go in there and legit just say, like, hey, I may drop a game or two in the SEC, but I'm going to get that SEC nod simply because I play in the SEC. So I think that one of the things that the SEC is basically doing, and I think that it just allowed me to go ahead and say and make this point right here. When you look at what OU and Texas have done and what the SEC has done as well, it's what we call it in the legal world is posturing. So you posture like yourself in a way that kind of sets you up long term, basically. So what they're doing is basically what the SEC is basically doing in the overall scheme of things is posturing themselves to say, you know what, we don't really need the NCAA. We can go and play our own schedule, our own season. And just think about this. So I was telling my uncle yesterday, Seth, I think you'll like this. If you had Michigan, Ohio State, let's throw in like a OSU, and let's throw in a USC. Okay, that's 6 more teams, and that gives you what, 20 teams, I believe, or something like that. Well, if you had 20 teams in that conference, 20 legit teams, okay, on top of what you had, right now, you could potentially say, all right, we'll have our own super conference, we'll have our own championship league. So what we'll have the top 10 teams in the league will play a playoff for let's just call it the super championship. Then the bottom half of the 10 teams, you would say, you know what, you're still going to get your piece of the pie because we're going to have another 10-game like NIT playoff system set up to where the lower half teams will still have something to play for and you will be able to maximize each school's ability to profit off of that, because you can still host home site games. And you can even say, hey, let's go get some of these bowl games to buy into it. Hell, we'll go play in the Music City Bowl with one of these like lower league teams. People will still want to go to Detroit to see Ole Miss and Mississippi State play the Egg Bowl one more time. That's just a bonus for them. Get what I'm saying? You may not sell out the seats, but it's the fact that you'll still have bodies in seats that is going to be attractive. So the SEC is just posturing themselves to potentially go out on a limb and say, you know what, we don't need you anymore. We have Ohio State, we have Michigan, we have Clemson. What do we need the NCAA anymore? You guys go ahead and play your 20-team playoff. We're going to have 2 where we split it up. I think that would be a great idea. And money-wise and numbers-wise, it just makes sense. So when you look at this, it's just all about posturing and how you're doing it. When you look at OU and Texas, it's all about posturing. They're putting themselves first and saying, you know what, we've been making good money in the Big 12. Now we can go make great money. But on top of that, we're posturing ourselves to go and potentially win the SEC and also get in on their recruits, get in on their regions, get on their TV markets, getting our brand to go even more national than what it was. Because you got to think that teams like Vandy, even though Vandy is terrible, you still are smack dab in the middle of Nashville. People are going to want to automatically you're going to attract them. And the thing about it is, I know we've had talks about legislatures and all the rest of this stuff. A state like Oklahoma that doesn't thrive all that well financially anyways, this helps us more than it hurts anything. And I think Bob Stoops was talking about that today. But it helps. When you're in a sales tax like driven state, when you're talking about numbers and everything, it just makes it worth it having Bama, Auburn, LSU, Texas A&M now. And do I ever think that we would have a home and home with them? No, but what if Texas came to Norman one day, for a game? What if OU went to Austin? You know how crazy that would be?
It'd be nuts.
It'd be
crazy.
So it's a thing that people have to understand. This is not only about money, but this is about posturing yourself to potentially go above and beyond what the expectation that you already had for yourself was. So that's pretty much my little spiel on that.
I'm with you, man. I call it the 40-year decision, not the 4-year decision. It's the 40-year decision, and it's the SEC, like you're saying, making that 40-year decision to where I got a feeling, this is just my opinion, that it's going to be East versus West. And I mean, not just Southeast versus West. I mean, East versus West as far as college football. And you're going to look at teams where it's going to be split right down the middle of Central Texas on over, and then over to the West, where you're going to have 2 conferences that play and just thug it out and play each other. And they come down to the best team on the East plays the best team from the West, and you play for basically a Super Bowl. Because let's keep it honest. With the NIL right now, it is basically making college football, which is what it's always been, a minor league for the NFL. That's all it is. And now these kids can get paid for it. And so now there is no incentive for these teams to stick with the NCAA. Just like you said, Chris, they can do their own thing and go above and just beyond the law on anything that they want to do to impose on the teams. The teams can do their own thing and start their own league and just make a lot of money doing it too. Make a lot of money doing it.
A lot of money.
It's the name of the game.
It's the name of the game.
Well, cool, guys, man. Anything else you guys want to add, man? We're like an hour and a half in.
Yeah, no.
Hey, just Seth, go ahead and plug yourself, man. You always.
Okay, well, you can find some of my writings and such over at Crimson and Cream Machine. You can also find me on Twitter at Seth Oliveris, where I pretty much keep it like 99% OU stuff, and then I'll talk about just the current events of college football. So obviously, this is what we're talking about right now. But we're getting close to football season, so things are going to be heating up all over the place. So you can catch me on over there, and we can chop it up.
Hey, you can find me at Chris with a K. The way that my name is spelled on here, that is actually how you spell it. Texas fans, if you come for me in the comments, I will come back. But again, that's Chris with a _K. So yeah, go ahead. I know the jokes are gonna come in. He can't even spell his name right. Why is he talking about Texas? I'm ready for it. All right. But Seth and I, hey, we're happy that you let us on the show. We run a podcast called Horns Down Podcast. We'll send you the link if your link is in the video or so. But yeah, we'll send the link. But yeah, everybody follow us on Twitter. And Seth has amazing content for sure. And follow us and listen to the podcast. We talk weekly about everything. We have guests on our show. We'll have to have you on the show. But yeah, we drop a lot of content. We drop some good content, I believe, and we've been talking about a lot. And for everybody who wants to hear everything about the Boomer Sooner Nation, then come and get us. And hey, I hope when Texas wins the championship this year, I hope somebody goes up to the mic and says, "We're back."
All right, man. Hook 'em all day long, man. Appreciate you guys, man. In this podcast, I always tell all my listeners, man, do you, man. Don't be afraid to fail. Outgrow your environment. Understand your brilliance, man. On that note, Ninos Corner, we're out, man.
We're out.